We hear a lot about it, but what is premenstrual syndrome?
Premenstrual syndrome, a group of symptoms that occur somewhere between 2 weeks before our period to our period. So those include typically depression, anxiety, mood swings, outbursts of anger. Those would be the mental, emotional components, sadness, fear, things like that. The physical components to that can be bloating, constipation or diarrhea, excess water, water weight, so edema, those kinds of things, fatigue.
And that's all because we're getting ready to cycle.
That's right. A lot of other physical symptoms would be breast tenderness, and sometimes cramping can begin premenstrually. Oftentimes that carries over into menses too.
What about the wild food cravings?
There's one I missed. Yep. Certainly cravings for sugars increase during that time. Chocolate. Yep.
Doesn't chocolate have magnesium in it, though?
Chocolate has...
Maybe this much?
Chocolate does have some benefits, and included in those are the antioxidant properties of chocolate. That's going to be more on the dark chocolate end because it's much higher in cocoa, actual chocolate, than, say, a milk chocolate bar, which is also high in sugar and other products. So chocolate isn't all bad.
All right. Yeah. What are some of the natural ways to treat PMS?
Some of the natural ways to treat PMS, and again, as with all my recommendations, it's going to start with diet. So eating that low glycemic index diet, and even if women can avoid sugars as much as possible during that time that they're craving them, during that 2-week period, can have significant impact on the inflammatory symptoms and the mental, emotional symptoms that they're having. Getting adequate protein and caloric intake during that time can also highly impact their premenstrual syndrome symptoms because it's impacting their blood sugar levels, which impact greatly our sense of well-being and our energy levels, and as well as decreasing inflammation. So typically for a woman who's struggling with PMS, I'll make sure that, in particular during those 2 weeks prior to her menses, she's having some concentrated protein source, probably about 5 times a day, as well as eating, healthy fruits and vegetables throughout that time, avoiding sugary foods. I've just found that to be dramatically successful in helping with PMS symptoms. Okay. On top of that, there are herbs that can help with PMS. Good. Yeah, some of those are black cohosh, wild yam, can be antispasmodic to decrease uterine cramping and those types of symptoms. Drinking teas, such as dandelion tea, would help with water retention. So drinking those teas during those 2 weeks prior to menses as well can be helpful. Taking anti-inflammatory herbs. So those include things such as ginger, turmeric, cinnamon. If women are having trouble with heavy bleeding, I would definitely have them taking cinnamon prior to their menses to help control that bleeding. Those are the main things that I think of. Fiber supplement.
Well, those are great suggestions.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome.